Just kind of take you back to the beginning of my introduction into this amazing profession and industry. In 2000, I moved to Southern California and Los Angeles to pursue a performing arts career. I was teaching hip-hop dance classes, and yeah, so that's awesome. So I might not have been good, but thanks for the, the applause. Anyway, I was pursuing my passion. I know there are many of you here today and listening in that there's something that you're very passionate about, and some people go to work for money, and other people work on their passion. And that was me, and I was fortunate to grow up in a family that really encouraged me to pursue the things I was passionate about. I was so fortunate and blessed where some people have things that they love to do, and then they're pushed into maybe another era because they believe that to be successful, you have to be a certain way. So when I moved to Southern California to pursue that passion, I was going to school at the time and studying graphic design and web design because it was something that was relevant at the time and something I enjoyed learning about, but my passion was in performing arts. And one of the things that I loved to do is I loved teaching. I was teaching classes, and the challenge I found when I moved to LA is that you have to teach a lot of dance classes to pay rent. It was hard trying to support myself at a young age in Southern California, and I know many of you have heard the expression starving artists. That's an actual thing. The reason why was because as an artist, usually when you're pursuing your passion, there's usually not much money involved unless you hit it big. And even those that have hit it big, a lot of them will tell you that it's not what they expected. For me, in the profession that I was in, dance, you were really a prop in the entertainment industry for an artist. Luckily, over the last few years, the dance profession industry, because of movies and some TV shows, has picked up. Even still then, I know people that were quote unquote the top of their game, the people I looked up to, and they were still struggling financially. Some people say, well, life isn't all about money. No, I totally agree with you. That life is about happiness. And the things that I wanted, unfortunately, required some money. I loved traveling more than anything on the planet. That's one of the reasons why I got so attracted to the profession in dance, because it allowed me to go places and visit new places and tour and perform, and that was amazing, and I loved that. But the challenge was, as I was touring overseas and teaching all over the world, I was very fortunate at a young age to get some teaching gigs out of the country. I had a chance to perform and teach in China and in Mexico and in Cuba and Italy and Spain and Portugal and Ireland and in Europe. And I went all over teaching at a very young age. And the challenge was I was making a little bit when I went, but I never got a chance to see the places I went to. I went to some of those beautiful places in the world, and I never got to see them because I would fly in and fly out because I was paid to fly in and teach, and then I'd go home. I wanted to see them so badly, and I made good friends all over the world, and they were like, you gotta stay, you gotta stay, you gotta stay, and I was like, I can't. So I was like, I need to find something to where I can make enough income to where I can go do the things that I love to do. So I was looking for a vehicle, and I wasn't looking for network marketing. I was like, let me find a good network marketing vehicle. That wasn't happening. So I had this entrepreneurial spirit. I knew I needed to do something. The 9-to-5 thing for me just wasn't gonna work. I knew for a fact that I loved working with people, it was just not for them. It's just rough for me, taking orders. So I'm in dance class one day, and a woman says, hey, Jess, do me a favor, check this out. And she hands me a cassette tape. Some of you guys are like, what is that? Right? A cassette tape. Now, I didn't even have a cassette player. I had to borrow one from a neighbor to listen to it. But that's how much I was looking for opportunity. I was looking, and I wanted something, and I didn't know what I was looking for, and I got introduced to this amazing industry, and I heard about people making a fortune, and I got excited about the concept of passive income, and these people have money and time? What? What happened is I got started, and I was so disenchanted in the beginning because my expectations were just so whack. Because I thought I was going to call 2 people and get rich. I don't know. Did anyone else have that expectation? I'm going to get Gavin, and I'm going to get Patricia, and I'm done, and they're going to get the world. My expectations were just off, so in the beginning, it didn't work out the way that I intended to, so I took my kit that I got in the mail and I kicked it underneath my bed, my futon that I was sleeping on at the time, and I was mad, I was frustrated for months. And then I finally came to an event that opened up my eyes, and I got a chance to meet professionals in this industry. It wasn't even the money, it wasn't even the time, because I heard people had money and time in this industry. It was who they were that attracted me. I was like, there's something different about these people. They had this almost depth to them that I just didn't see with most individuals. And I got attracted to the personal growth aspect of the business. Because I saw and I was like, you know what, this is somebody I'd like to become. I just don't want to just have what they have. I don't want to just have money. I just want to have time. There's something unique about them. And I don't know what it is, but there was this kind of gravitational pull that pulled me in that direction. And so what happened was I got started really building my business finally. And I don't know if anybody have noticed, there's usually 2 start dates in your business, the day you sign up and the day you decide you're actually going to do it. And hopefully today we can move those dates closer together, because very few people have those decisions on the same day, signing up and doing it. For those of you listening in, let's make that today where we just turn the light switch on to go. And so I ran hard and I just surrounded myself with the people, and everywhere I could go, I just gobbled it up. I never missed anything. Every conference call I could be on, every event that I could go to, every person I could associate with. I just tried to absorb as much as that I possibly could, because I just knew for me there was no going back. Because once I started learning about passive residual in this industry, I was just so blown away by it. It was impossible for me to go back to 9 to 5 and be happy. There's just no way. For me, it was a little bit different, because a lot of people are trying to get away from a 9 to 5. For me, I had something I was very passionate about. So it wasn't like I was trying to leave what I was doing, but like some people have experienced in the industry, I was getting burnt out on what I loved to do because I was doing it so much. I was doing jobs I didn't like because I needed to make money. So I ended up actually not enjoying the thing I was most passionate at that point in my life about, which was so contradictory. And that's why you see these artists get burnt out a lot of the time on some of the things that they love to do. I needed to get out of what I was doing, teaching 12, 13 classes a week. I running 2 dance companies at the time, and it was not a good space. But for me, when I saw this, I was like, I needed freedom, and I knew that if I taught class, I got paid. I taught class, I got paid. If I didn't teach, I didn't get paid. So I wasn't on a 9 to 5, but I was still the only source of income coming into my household. I get introduced, and we start building it, and I got so excited about it. Now, when we transitioned and had an opportunity to find Seacret, I can tell you, I wasn't looking for Seacret when it fell in my lap. And today I want to share with you a little bit about the story of this company and where they came from, and a large reason why my wife and I decided to risk so much to partner up. Because for many of you, getting started in Seacret is such a no-brainer. It's like, well, great, opportunity. For my wife and I, there was a lot we risked in order to start over here with Seacret. We had to give up something. Now, here's what I found out. All of you are going to have to give up something in order to be successful. That's just part of the game. You heard it before, you have to give up to go up. When you make a commitment to something, you have to let go of something else. Like when you make a commitment to get in shape, you have to give up donuts or something. Now, I'm not saying you can't have them every once in a while. You can't say, I want to get in shape, but I literally want to eat only In-N-Out every day. That doesn't work. I want to have the best relationship marriage of my life, but I don't want to give up dating all these people. You can see how there's a challenge in that. Doesn't work that way. So when you're choosing to be successful, you also need to make a conscious choice to give up on something that's not serving you or that's contradictory towards you getting what you want. So for me, it was that conscious choice. And for us, when we got introduced to Seacret, basically what happened is my brother-in-law, my wife's sister's husband, Fabian, calls me from Chicago and says, hey, Jess, look, I'm taking a look at Seacret. Have you ever heard of it? And I was like, no. Would you be interested? I was like, no. And I was pretty mean to him actually at that time, so thank you for putting up with me. Came home and my wife and I were like, hey, your brother, your sister and your brother-in-law are getting involved in this thing, Seacret. And she goes to her dresser and she pulls out one of the products. Seacret? Like this Seacret? And I was like, what is that? They actually had it at the mall. And she had bought the products a few years ago in our local mall. So that kind of piqued our interest. We were curious about what was going on with Seacret. I was like, oh yeah, that's right. And I kind of put 2 and 2 together. I was like, when you're walking through the mall, and I'm sure most of you have probably seen Seacret somewhere. It's usually some beautiful Israeli man or woman that's like, my friend, come, come. Oh, your nail's natural. Ooh, come. Let me show you something. It's a bad Israeli accent, I'm sorry, okay? But they are good. How many of you guys know they are really good, right? Oh man, don't make eye contact. Over. You are buying. So talented. And the reason why is because if they could get you to stop and they could demonstrate the product on you, you could see an instant result. It was impossible for you to say I'm not interested because you saw it. So we actually reluctantly flew to get a chance to see Seacret, and we had a chance to meet the ownership, and they sat down and shared us a story of where they came from. And today I'd like to share with you a short version of that story so that way you can understand where we are and why Seacret decided to take this incredibly successful business and transition and allow you and I to participate in the next phase of their growth.